Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Today, we're at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark for the annual Spring Luncheon. Over 600 of New Jersey's most dynamic women, from elected and philanthropic leaders to artists, activists, moms, and managers, packed the stage to raise money for the arts here in Newark. The event was headlined by keynote speaker Robin Roberts. Let's head inside one of New Jersey's most marquee spring events. What a beautiful, beautiful morning we're having here today.
We are so thrilled. This is one of our biggest fundraising events of the year. We are so excited to be honoring Nancy Cantor, Chancellor of Rutgers Newark, who's going to be leaving Newark and going to Hunter College this summer. And we have Robin Roberts here as our keynote. But more importantly, we're raising money for arts education at NJPAC, which is an extraordinary opportunity for us to change the lives of students in our community.
And they do. Tell us more about the program.
So we have students who come for musical theater, jazz for teens, hip-hop dance. They come on Saturdays during the year. They come over the summer for 6 weeks programs. There are programs that transform lives, and we know this from the many hundreds and thousands of students who have been in our programs and gone on to other things. So
and the results pay dividends because you've had so many go on to do such amazing things in the art.
I mean, some of our most famous Arts Ed alums are Michaela J. Rodriguez, grew up in Newark. She found this as a place for her home. Tyshawn Sorey, who is an amazing MacArthur Genius Award composer, and he grew up and came to Arts Ed programs. And then we have children. My son, actually, when he was in middle school through high school, came on Saturdays as a tenor saxophone player and found a community here that was incredible for him.
And it's so important because certain kids, certain personalities, they need a community like this.
It is, and it's just a chance for people to find a new community, get advanced in the arts, and so. But you know, our Women at NJPAC community is an amazing community of women who have supported NJPAC for almost 30 years. We're heading into our 30th anniversary, and over that period of time, we have raised over $57 million for NJPAC. So we are thrilled. We are expecting another record-breaking day today, and I can't wait for the rest of the day.
And this luncheon, by the way, it's always the first Tuesday in May, right? It's our version of the Met Gala. Everyone comes dressed to the nines with their fascinators. What was the beginnings? What was the origin of this luncheon?
The origin, we were inspired by the Central Park Conservancy, which in New York City has an annual spring luncheon, and we have 9 incredible founding women who started this board, and one of the women was Phyllis Surf Wagner, who was from New York City, and she said, you need to do this. And this is, for nearly 30 years we've been holding this event.
Yeah, and the rest is history, and you talked about the board. The board is made up of the creme de la creme in the state.
It's evolved to become sort of the top board of C-suite and philanthropic women in the state. It is an amazing community of women who come from throughout New Jersey, who work hard to bring their friends and their companies and their supporters, and we just couldn't be more grateful for them. We couldn't do it without them, and we are so thrilled.
This is your first time here at the NJPAC Luncheon. What are your thoughts?
I think this is wonderful. It's such a great cause. It's going to help so many needed children. I'm all for it, and I will start coming from today on.
No, it's very impressive, and especially when you hear about what the money today goes to.
It's unbelievable how they're helping these children will really flourish from this event. It'll educate them at a different level, expose them to many different things they would normally not be exposed to.
Why are the arts so important for children?
Do you know what? It puts you on a different level. It relaxes. There's no limit to art. There's no right or wrong in art. So no matter what they create, no matter what we do, it's their art, it's their work, and it's beautiful. So there's no criticism on it.
And it breaks my heart, and I'm sure yours too, when there's always budget cuts. The arts is the first to go, but it's just as vital, I guess, as like math, right?
I think it's more important. Through art, you do learn math and reading. You learn how to measure things. You measure the paint, you measure the size of the canvas. There's everything involved in art, music, math, reading, so they should never cut art. Art's the first thing that should stay instead of being taken out.
Well, both of you are impeccably dressed. The assignment was understood here.
Yes.
So you've been coming, like you said, for many years. What brings you coming back for more?
Well, I love the PAC, and it's such an important part of the story of Newark, and the rejuvenation that it has provided for Newark, and the programs for children are very special. So it's a really leading institution.
So why is this mission so important?
Well, the arts are so much more important than people realize. The children's programs that they have here, the youth jazz program that they have here, is really open a lot of doors for a lot of the people in the community. And the arts are a great unifier.
So true. And for a community like Newark, I mean, these kids, they need safe places to go.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of
I used to be on the board of the Newark Museum of Art. And between these two cultural institutions, I mean, the services that they provide for families and children and museum goers, music and theater goers throughout New Jersey is really unparalleled. There aren't any other institutions like it in New Jersey. So they're the anchor points, really.
What kind of thought do you put into the outfits, though? Because you guys are on point every which way.
I was gonna go very colorful, wonderful, beautiful. But then again, you know what? I wanna look like more like the New Yorker. New York, black is the only color, and white. It's like, okay, do I look like New Yorker enough? That's the whole idea.
We match. I mean, you're like the next level from what I'm wearing. Yes. And how about yourself?
Well, it's a spring luncheon, and so to me, a floral palette is just what I want to wear.
You should see yourselves. You all look spectacular. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on. Huh?
I have been coming to this event for many years. I have never seen it this packed.
It has never been this packed. There are over 550 human beings, mostly women, here, and it is such a popular event that we have gone beyond the stage, and we have guests who are going to be in the boxes, actually in the theater. So we're so thrilled that Robin Roberts is here to be our keynote speaker, and it's great to have somebody as inspiring as Robin Roberts to keep us straight, you know?
Absolutely. And speaking of inspirational, I mean, there's so many Garden State women in here that have done so many amazing things, and the growth of this event is a testament to the board that you have here at Women at NJPAC.
Yeah, it's an amazing group of volunteer leaders. It's the most diverse leadership cohort that we have at the Arts Center, and it's reflective of women in so many walks of life. Business, philanthropy, nonprofit. It's a great coalition of the willing.
And what are they raising money for?
We're raising money for our work in the social impact work that the Arts Center does. We reach 100,000 kids and families every year in classrooms, in city parks, in our own conservatory where we train young people. Our Arts and Wellbeing initiative is now in full bloom, and it'll support that. And of course, we do a couple of hundred community engagement events every year throughout Greater Newark. So all the money that gets raised today will be in support of that work.
How come that work is so important to you at NJPAC?
Because that's why they built us. They built us to be an anchor cultural institution in service to the many communities that can benefit. So it's at the heart of how we operate.
The most successful luncheon ever here today.
Ever. It gets better every single year it grows. So we're just bursting at the seams, and it's just wonderful.
Why do you think it's grown so much?
I think the caliber of the speakers that we've had, the fun, after COVID, when we all got together, everybody was so joyous. And since that time, the event has just become so popular, and, we sell out very quickly. I mean, look at this place. Everybody has such a wonderful time. The spirit is so good.
And it's raising money for just an amazing cause.
It is indeed. It is.
I just think this event brings women together like no other event in the state of New Jersey. It's true sisterhood, it's true solidarity, and I love it.
So Nancy, on behalf of the women at NJPAC, on behalf of Rutgers University Newark, on behalf of the city of Newark, please accept the Ronnie Goldberg Award for 2024.
I mean, just looking out, so many phenomenal women, our next generation of phenomenal women. And in an arts center, it couldn't be a better place to think about the next generation, to think about the change that has to be. We are all living in such a challenged time, as John said. And this is the moment to come together. And that's what the women at NJPAC do, and do best, right? Right? There is nothing we need more than the arts right now. In my view, it is the platform for bringing people together.
It is the premier Garden State women who get this award, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Talk to us about your work at Rutgers Newark.
Well, we are very much an anchor institution in Newark and of Newark, and we collaborate, for example, with NJPAC on lots of programs: arts education, teaching artist certificates, arts and well-being, thinking about the role of the next generation of diverse artists. And then we collaborate in the city, along with NJPAC, with a number of anchor institutions working on hiring locally and supporting diverse businesses, and thinking about what community safety looks like, and thinking about how we support the incredible emerging entrepreneurs, including artists in Newark.
I love that. A lot of amazing and very important initiatives. Why are the arts so important to a community?
The arts really capture the potential for communities to come together, to have empathy about each other and our lived experiences, to really understand where other people are coming from. And the more we do that, we understand ourselves.
Exactly. And what better mecca of art than here at NJPAC?
That's right. NJPAC is just phenomenal.
I've known Robin for almost 20 years, and I'd say she's had a few accomplishments during that time. So let me start to fill in the painting. Robin was a sportscaster for ESPN for 15 years, winning 3 Emmys, and was the first woman to co-host NFL Primetime. Robin was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Her number 21 jersey is retired at Southeastern Louisiana University. She is one of ESPNW's Impact 25. And she won a Peabody Award for bravely chronicling her battle with MDS back in 2012. Now, there's a few more you might not be as familiar with. Robin guest hosted on Jeopardy for 5 episodes. She was an a cappella backup singer in Pitch Perfect 2. And she is only one of 10 an honorary Harlem Globetrotter. And she is the most down-to-earth, smart, fun, caring, positive person you'd ever want to meet. In fact, if you ran into her on the street in New York City or down south at her favorite getaway of Key West, you'd feel like you were running into an old neighbor or friend. She just makes you feel like she's known you forever. That authenticity and connectivity is what makes her so special, and why we're honored and thrilled to have her generously sharing her time with us today. Ladies and a few gentlemen, please welcome Robin Roberts.
Lisa, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of what you're able to do here and how you're able to celebrate the arts and the young ones that were here. And Chancellor Nancy, congratulations on the honor that she has received today. So well deserved. I wrote a book, 7 Rules to Live By. And I went around the country asking folks, and you all should take stock, like, what are your rules to live by? You know, mine are, you got to put yourself in position for good things to happen to you. You got to focus on the solution, not the problem. Dream big, but focus small. Keep faith, family, and friends close to your heart. And so I was going around and asking people what their rules are to live by. And at that time, a dear colleague at the time, Joel, he had colon cancer, and he passed away. And I was asked to come back to do the tribute show for him. And I did. And during that time, I did a piece where his doctor said had he received a colonoscopy at the age of 50 instead of 53, that could have saved his life. And that night I went home. I was very tired and I was stretching. And somehow I felt a lump that I had never felt before. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm just tired. But I did have a doctor's appointment for months down the road, and I thought, Robin, what did you just talk about today? Early detection can mean everything. And so I called my doctor. I didn't have a relationship with this particular doctor. It was a new one. And the receptionist was very nice. And I said, I didn't say why I was calling. And I said, I need to move up my appointment. And she said, I'm really sorry. We don't have any availability. And I said, do you know who I think I am? I'm going to call Oprah. What do you mean you can't fit me in? You do. And I went in for a general exam, seeing the doctor for the first time. Didn't tell him about the lump. Just say, I want a regular, just look under the hood and kick the tires kind of exam. And he was about to leave the exam room, and I said, oh, Dr. Knapp, silly me, I have this lump right here, and it's in an awkward position. And he said, aren't you in the news business? I said, yes, sir. He said, that's called burying the lead. You should have come in saying, I have a lump. I said, and so he checked it out, and he said, you need to go get a mammogram ultrasound. And the mammogram came back fine, but the ultrasound detected that there was a cancerous tumor. I'm so grateful that I listened to myself, and we have to do that. I found it through a self-exam. It is so important to know our bodies, all of us, male, female, know your bodies, and early detection can make the difference. And I shared my journey. I shared when I lost my hair. And when I lost my hair, we did this special about pushing each other to do things. And I was not feeling my absolute best because I was bloated from chemo and all these things, didn't have a stitch of hair on me. And my colleagues challenged me to be in a fashion show. Yes, Isaac Mizrahi. And so I'm going to be live on GMA. So I have this beautiful red gown that he has made for me, and I have my trusty little wig that had that little anchor flip to it. And I was about to go out on the runway, and meanwhile, every young little model was, walking out looking all cute and everything, Gravity hadn't set in for them. They're all walking out there on the runway. I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm about to walk out, and I see myself in the mirror, and I just instinctively took off my wig, and I walked out on that runway, and I just wanted, thank you. So lastly, before I open up for your questions, I want to say, put yourself in position, and you are, look at you, really, being here, put yourself in position for great things to happen for you. Be willing to make the necessary sacrifices. Always continue to dream big, but to focus small on those day-to-day things that can ultimately get you to your goal. We often talk about self-confidence and self-esteem. It's about self-worth. It's about knowing that you are worthy. And that is something that I know by being here with you today that you absolutely are, but please know that about yourself.
What was the energy like for you out there today?
Oh, it was just great. First of all, this is just beautiful.
I mean, just this venue is gorgeous. The energy, the love, the talent that was on display throughout the whole luncheon. But it just meant so much. You know, my dad's a Jersey boy. In fact, the new road going out to the new terminal at Newark Airport is Colonel Roberts Road.
Which I did not know. I love that. Oh my God.
When you GPS and you go out to Terminal A now, look and it'll say Colonel Roberts Road.
You know what the best thing is, Lexi, our producer, there's never any traffic on that road. You never get that in Jersey.
That never happens. That never happens. But no, I love events like this. I love people coming together, the community, the chancellor who was recognized, and she's just not about Newark, but of Newark, and just wanting to make sure that everybody feels included, which is a beautiful thing.
You genuinely, I think, I mean, when you were talking to that 23-year-old, you're like, give me your resume. Like, you actually care, and I just thought that was so awesome.
Everybody wants to be seen and heard. A 23-year-old. I love that she stood up. You know, there's so many people that, you know, they get scared, they don't want, and this 23-year-old gets up, and when she asked me about, you know, how do you persevere, how do you go through, that's why I asked her, I said, what have you already done? To let her know that she already has her secret to success. She already has things that she's achieved. So why do we think that mountain ahead of us is so much bigger than the ones we've already climbed? So I was glad I was able to reach out to her.
One last question, because I know you have to go. NJPAC, the Knicks, they won last night, but they better like clean up their act a little bit because.
Come on, Sportsy, come on.
Nah, I don't know, but they.
Doesn't matter, the Rangers going to win it all anyway. So.
But it's crazy that it's 1994 all over again at Madison Square Garden. I'm obsessed.
No, I mean, they have to put the court down. The ice is always there. But don't you feel an energy in the area when the teams are doing well?
Because it's been bad in New York. It's been bad in New York. Just one last question, though, about NJPAC and the mission that we all came together for today.
The arts, the talent, the young people that were here, performance. And we don't, it's missing from the schools now because of cuts and things like that, understood. So for a community to go like, we have this wonderful center right here and all that comes through here. But the money that was raised, knowing it's going to stay here in the community means everything.
This means everything. I'm so happy to have met you. Thank you. Today was such a success. Tell me all about it.
We're very proud of the success we had today. We exceeded our financial goal, but it was a collaborative event. It was with the support staff, it was the trustees, it was just all the women in NJPAC, in addition to the corporate sponsors that really made a difference in individual ticket sales. I mean, it was just sold out in record time, and we're just really happy about the success for today.
How much money was raised?
400.
Yeah. It looks like just over 410 so far.
Amazing. The money raised today goes towards the art education programs, and the highlight every year at these luncheons are the student performances, including today. So how fulfilling is it to see those students rock the stage like they did?
Their poise and talent is just unbelievable at their age. I can't imagine being in high school and standing in front of 600 people and performing like a true professional. But just the arts in general we're coming to in NJPAC is incredible because it gives the students a chance to put down their phones, get off of social media, which social media can be good, but used in the right way, but to really focus on things that elevate their self-esteem.
This is about bringing women to the Arts Center who don't necessarily usually come and mixing them with people who are here in our city all the time and showing them what the Arts Center does, which is bring people together and provide programs for kids in cities and in our state that they may or may not be able to afford to pay for. So that's what we do.
And you do it well. Thank you so much to you both.
I just want to thank all of you for coming today and joining us. I am so thrilled to announce that we have exceeded $410,000 raised today with all of your generosity. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Spring Luncheon co-chairs, Tammy Jones and Carrie Levine, our co-presidents, Mindy Cohen and Margaret Lorenzi, and everyone at NJPAC, thank you so much for coming. See you again soon. And Nancy, may you long wave. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for coming, everybody. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.